We are live!
You've all been clamoring for a show, and here we are, finally doing the show live at the tent, and let's just get into it.
Yeah, we got in the end. Alright, we'll just turn them away. Okay, so it is June 6th. Opening day is 11 days away. 11 days away. It's going to be Uri Adler's Dog Pound and the IDF's Edmund Beta opening up the season. 2 rookie captains.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I
love
love the early starts. You know, get our beaks wet, so to speak, with the season, get everyone jazzed up, and and then we have a little bit of a layoff. People get to talk about it. People get to watch the film and get into the swing of things, and then away we go once the summer hits.
Sunday morning leagues are last week, this week. So there's already being 3 teams eliminated by Sunday, and then the following week another 2 teams eliminated. So everybody's going to be almost done.
Before we get into the teams, by the way, a few public service announcements. Number one is, guys, pay your league fee. I don't want to chase after you. I don't want to be, one of those types of guys that threaten to break your knees. I won't do it, but I will threaten. But guys, pay your league fee. Thank you.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Don't forget about we're not forgetting about the award show. We're going to do a show about that shortly. Number 3,
we keep on teasing the award show. We actually, like, you ordered the placards for the
we have
trophy.
The plaques. Avi Dweck has been holding the trophy hostage for the last 3 months. I heard it was locked in his bedroom.
I heard it was in his bed.
Yeah, a little bit. He was using the cup for netilah in the morning and whatever.
I heard he was doing some unsavory things with that cup, and it needs a full sterilization. So
we have a power washing system in the back. We'll take care of that before we put the plaques on it. So Mabruk to all the winners. You're going to be on the trophy by the next show.
And the gold gloves that we're giving out, I have gorgeous gold glove rings.
Cool.
Heavy duty. The same rings that I got for the World Series, I got for the gold glove winners.
I didn't see that. That's pretty cool.
And also this month's Community Magazine, if you flip to page number 62, get a little bit of a preview of each team. Nice to see your name in writing in the magazine. That is the most circulated magazine, most widely circulated Sephardic magazine in the world. So, how about that?
Good job. Freddie Harari, Jack Cohen. Yes, in 1962, the year the Mets were in existence. Anyway, we have 7 teams this year. Could have been more. We chose to stay with 7, scheduling reasons, quality of the league.
Yeah.
Let's jump right in.
Listen, we're going to go team for team. We're going to do our best guesstimate of who's playing what position, and then obviously our predictions sure to go wrong.
The one thing I'll say about the 7 teams before I jump in, we usually, like last year, the Tomahawks, right? Or this year, Sunday morning, everybody said it about the Jungle, Zach Ashkenazi's team. Usually look at the league and you can pick that team that everybody goes, ew, they're not making it. Are we always right? No. But there's usually that one unanimous decision, everybody agrees that team looks bad.
Yes, in general, you're correct.
This year, I don't see that.
I'm looking 1 through 7. Yeah. Every team has an equal opportunity to win, and every team, I think it's going to be one of those teams at the wild card, one of those leagues, one of those seasons where the wild card is going to be so jumbled and every team's going to be pretty much in it till the very end.
Could be. It's going to be a lot of, they usually have close games, but there's no glaring on the map looking at them while it's a bad team.
You know why? Because every single team has themselves a starting pitcher. Every single team has a shortstop and a center fielder. So usually when you have that, every team is pretty much...
Right, you don't see we're going to be a few teams we'll talk about that maybe are light in the outfield, but always someone who could do the job. Let's see.
It's funny. You know what? Now that I'm looking at the teams, we'll get to it, but I do have my team I don't think is making the playoffs.
I know the one you're thinking, because I just said that. Number 1, the final battle.
Captained by Tedward.
Teddy by himself.
Theodore.
That's right. Last year, Theodore was not a captain, but was in the World Series with Gabe.
I mean, he wasn't a captain with Gabe, but he kind of was the on-field co-captain. So he did have a leadership role, in which definitely helped that team, willed that team to the World Series. They didn't
Teddy's
win.
always going to have a mouth, brother.
That's right, brother.
He's always going to be there, and that's part of what he brings to the table for good. Sometimes to shake things up, people think it's for bad. It ends up being for good.
But let's
see.
Look at his team. His first overall pick. I mean, this team is probably the most confusing team in the league for obvious reasons, and we'll get to it.
It's going to be the hardest for us to judge, really.
Right, because we don't know much about the players. But first overall pick was Michael M.C. Cohen. Listen, MC year in, year out. He's always an MVP candidate. He's always going to be the best. The only thing you always question is his interest level year to year, but I don't think Teddy's going to have that problem because
No, and he's
Teddy
been
will.
into it. Michael's been in.
100%. But I'm saying
Funny,
even
Michael's been hitting the ball well Sunday morning too now, better than he usually does.
But I'm saying
so
even
he's been on his game.
as a captain of the Tomahawks, I feel like his level of interest wasn't 100% there. And but this year, I believe he's playing with Yakov Saruya, which is the next overall pick on that squad. And Teddy obviously will take no prisoners when it comes to this. So now Michael Cohen with Yakov Saruya as a second pick. That's two big bats, two buddies. And then to me, their biggest X factor, the wild card on this team, and probably in the entire league this year, is their starting pitcher who they traded up to get in Robert Tobias.
So Robert Tobias, it's a rookie, called a question mark. We said it a million times. All the captains heard it. I'm sure many players in the league know it. He's a dynamic athlete.
He's a freak, but that doesn't always translate to the mound.
Right, and is he going to be able to know the league the first year? There's definitely going to be an adjustment period. Do I think he can do it? Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes it works the opposite. Sometimes a rookie season and no one knows him and the league has no book on him, then he can actually have his way. And then when the league catches up with him is when we see the real version of him, so that we might see second half of the season a different version of him at first. But like you said, if he's a freak athlete, which everyone says he is, and I believe he is, let's see how it goes. I mean, this is a very deep league, so
and
it's
again,
not.
talking about Teddy as captain, Teddy's the type to make sure he puts the work in. And
He squeezes every last bit out of his starting pitches over the years.
So Yankee Gutman, power hitting, defensively,
middle infielder.
yeah, defensively, year to year, very different. Started on fire, then he went way down defensively, and now he's where he is. We know what he is.
Say what you want about Gutman, he authors a few of the biggest postseason hits over the last 5 years in this league.
Offensively, nobody's doubting him.
He's always there. He's always in the end. He's always, when it counts, his team is whatever team he's playing on.
He was a champion last year at short center.
There you go. And then we have your son, Jackie Sutton.
So Jackie's at third base now. Jackie may play shortstop too, from what I heard. I know Teddy likes shortstop, but Teddy doesn't mind moving to third. Was at third last year too. So
the question mark with what Teddy at third was his arm,
and
but
he
showed
answered.
that his arm was pretty good.
Yeah,
so
he worked on it. So that's a question. So having Jackie, and Jackie's bat came alive last year. Small guy, but he's packing a punch. He's in great shape. He's in the gym, and it showed off offensively.
Now here's the question, and we're at pick number 7 for Teddy in this draft, and 7, 8, 9 looks like this team wasn't drafted by Teddy, because you have names that he never saw before.
Could it be Yakov Saruya?
Yakov, Michael, I don't know, but Teddy will swear till the very end that he did his homework on everybody, and I believe it. If anyone did homework, it's
talk
Teddy.
about a shortstop. This next pick of Rami Rosenberg supposedly is a really good defensive shortstop.
So I've seen multiple highlight clips that Uri Adler showed me of this kid Rosenberg, and he could pick it.
All right,
He
there you
could
go.
pick it all right.
And then we hear he's a good line drive hitter. So there's not much more we could say. We don't know anything about
And
him.
anything we
But
say
heard
is
he's
just
good.
be conjecture. We don't know. And then the next player on their team
Krieger.
is Abraham Krieger.
Which was that second highest rated outfielder / infielder Ashkenaz player.
Listen, Teddy went to work and he took the top 2 players from the South Atlantic League that we brought up, and he's putting a lot of stock into them, because if you look across the board, the other teams with their 7th and 8th round pick, there are some real players there. You have guys, up and down each lineup, proven players. So Teddy's really putting a lot of stock into these guys.
He also then went with David Brescher, someone I think he saw by KJ, because Teddy was by KJ a lot, and I know
He's that
Brescher
tall
goes there.
lefty.
Tall, strong lefty. I played against him. Kid has a load of power. You have to hope he doesn't get under the ball. He's a decent outfielder. So for that round, I think they got a good pick there. Then they went with Yogi Kassin, who's been a mixed bag. The guy's the strongest legs.
I think
in the
you say his
whole
legs.
league.
I think his legs are bigger than my torso.
Oh my goodness, he's a big guy. Great guy, great smile, good catcher, and he packs a lot of power. We've seen two ends of the world with Jakey. We've seen him be one of the most dynamic hitters in the league, and then we've seen him have, light years. So he's only playing in the leagues with us for now 3 or 4 years. So really, to see where he is
I think he's his 3rd season at M&S. He was on
M&S?
he was on the Saban vehicle, and he
and
was
I think
on.
YMSL is 4 or 5. So still finding his way. I still think he's got a lot of power. Comes from good stock. His dad was a great player. And then
The final two picks in this team, we have Penny Silverstein.
Right, I almost said welcome back, but for the night league, it's his rookie year.
Yeah, and Penny's been trying to get in, knocking on the door. We finally found a way to get Penny in. We're happy to have him in, and Penny, hope you have a eye-opening year, and hopefully things work out for the best. And then finally, on their squad,
Here it is.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes, Tommy Ishak, who's been playing shortstop in other leagues right now, and excited to get on the field at MNS again.
Which
and
league
prove
are you?
himself.
Which league are you referring to? He's playing shortstop.
From what I heard, the name of the team was going back to a Nachman Asulin team.
Oh, the Tijuana Table Dancers.
That's right. So he's on that team in Red Hook. It's a co-ed league, and
I just thank God he's not playing for the Hebrew home. You know, like that's what I thought you were going with. But
we don't know where he's
let's see.
playing.
Listen, Tommy played in the league before. He's back. He's with his brother. I know he put a lot of work in, like Teddy said. But listen, you can't go wrong taking
Yeah,
your
we
brother
heard
on
he's
last
wearing-
overall pick. It's fine.
wearing a long hair wig so nobody confuses him.
No,
and
I think he grew out his hair. I think he grew out his hair. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, on to the next team. Saban captained the Predators.
So the first pick taken overall for Michael Saban, you're looking at a proud daddy. I mean, I hope so. He took Yitzhak Sutton, last year champion.
Last year, perfect game in the World Series.
Yes.
Cannot go understated.
So we'll never go understated. I don't. You know, it's funny. We looked at the lineup and all that. I don't care what league you're playing in. For that to happen, is
No, it can. It will never happen again. That's just the bottom
almost
line.
impossible.
It will never happen again. An error will happen in softball. A walk will happen in softball. Bad umpiring will happen in softball.
Right, a bloop
All of it,
hit.
a bloop. Something is going to happen. This will never happen again. Let alone in a World Series game.
Yeah, wild.
It's insane.
After losing game one,
Right. To tie
now,
up the series.
went down to Ali Marshall with the second round pick.
Listen,
Got him late second round.
There's three guarantees in life. It's death, taxes, and Saban taking Alley. So
Okay.
we all knew that was going to happen.
Now, one thing about Ali, I was questioning Ali's shortstop play, and he wasn't playing shortstop Sunday morning. A trade was made in the YMSL, and it slotted Ali to shortstop. I have not watched their team. I already played them earlier in the season, but one thing I heard from multiple sources, whether they're a good team, whether they're a bad team, is Ali's playing a very strong shortstop.
And guess what? He
That's good.
let me know about that as well. He said, I am playing
telling you.
short. I can do it. My hips are good. My
Yeah, man,
range is fine. My eyes are good.
Right, so Ali's confidence will never doubt, but hearing others telling me, wow, Ali's playing a great short. Ali's arm is great, and his hands are there. Does he have the same range he had when he was 40?
Definitely not.
Probably not, but he's playing a really strong shortstop.
Speaking of arms, Mark Barsano, their next pick. Mark
Welcome
back
back.
to the league. Another stereotypical Saban draft pick.
So, Mark is a...
He's a beast.
Right, he's a beast. We say it online and everybody makes fun of us, built like a truck.
If there ever was one person that was actually built like a truck,
it's Mark
It's
Barsano.
Mark Barsano.
The guy is strong. He's Billy Ayin Hara, 100% healthy because he's gone through his injury
Woes.
His woes. So he feels great. From what I hear, he's in the gym again. He's swinging the bat. I played with him last year. When he's healthy and he's on, nobody's got more power than him, and he could use the field. And he's a very strong third baseman.
I think the thing with him is, consistency at the plate because I think he's one of those streaky type hitters where he'll have a player of the week type week, maybe two, and then all of a sudden he can't hit the broadside of a barn. So
My question mark on him isn't even so much that. My question is he going to jive with Michael Saban's side?
oh yeah, no doubt.
Because Michael could demand a lot, and Mark Barsano might say, "Guys, we're having a good time."
Yeah,
Don't
but
worry."
I feel like
and that could maybe.
I
not be
understand
great.
where you're going with because Mark is very easygoing, laid-back type of character, and Saban, like you said, demands the most out of his players.
Hard nose.
But at the end of the day, if you get Saban and you eventually get him, you know that Saban's coming from a good place. Saban's one of my favorite people in the world. I played with him as a rookie when I played, and right away, instantaneously, I realized what he was all about.
Yeah,
He wants to win. That's what he wants to
I
do.
love Michael too, and I play with him multiple times. We get it. Not everybody does.
Right.
So I hope they do. Alan Jamal, I'm at the point now where we know Alan's a great athlete. He's a top flight defender. I cannot call him an offensive player.
No,
yet.
because
he's got to do it. He's
It's
got to
funny
show it to
because
us.
in the postseason a few years ago, on a team that won the World Series, he was actually a big part of their lineup. And then, like the following year, when people drafted him really high, he kind of was a no-show at the plate. So,
Now, and again, Michael Solomon himself is still swinging a great bat.
listen, but getting Alan Jamal in the 4th round as a potential Gold Glove winner in center
That's
field,
they got him for defense.
you can't go wrong. And then, like you said, Saban is the next drafting himself player over here. Saban is he's just a walking Hall of Famer no matter what you say about him.
So now what I like that Michael did in his draft here is he didn't only go one way, which he usually does. He went with Butchie Cohen, who's a good offensive player and who could play any infield position. He went with Nathan Kushner, who's a very strong offensive player, decent in the outfield, questionable at times.
And then he got Whamma.
Then he went defensive.
I love the Whamma pick because Whamma is, I don't know.
Lockdown
if
defensive.
you put him at shortstop, I don't know if he's playing shortstop on this team, but if you put him at shortstop, he is one of the better defensive shortstops.
And guess what? If Allie's going to play short and Whamma's at short center, there's your range.
Right.
He'll cover for you. Whamma's a fantastic defender.
I love that pick. I love that pick.
It was a good pick. Not so much an offensive player.
No, and he's also the slowest human being alive.
But he had his oven. It's weird because he's tall and skinny.
And then welcome back to the league, Albert River DeWeck, another option in the outfield for them.
Right, so he's not just an option. He's going to have to be their left fielder.
Yeah, and guess what? He's more than capable of doing a really good job in the outfield.
Yeah, he's a slappy hitter, smart ball player. Danny Shabbat, champion last year, and showed the league he could hit.
Yeah, he's a real hitter,
Yeah.
and I think he has respect around the league as probably you have Melech there, but probably the most power bat from the catcher position.
My son, I think, was a big part of that pick because he mentioned to Michael when he knew he was going to pick him, I love throwing the ball to Danny Shabbat. It was a pleasure.
He's a big, hefty target.
Guy, and he scooped the ball well, and they got along.
And then to round out their team, rookie Alex Taub, actually a pesky outfielder, speedy.
I think he's going to get a game a week at least in the outfield.
And I don't think he will disappoint. And then to round it out, first we had Victor Shrem on this team, and then he hurt himself.
Yeah,
but
he broke his wrist.
Who better to take over for a spot than your brother, Ike Shrem, trying to get in the league. He got in, and he has a lot to prove. I know he's in the cages daily.
So I heard in Staten Island, he already purchased $350 worth of their tokens there, and he's been going 3 or 4 times a week when they're open, swinging away. So
yeah, I'm actually excited to see him.
Yeah, me too.
And that is the Predator squad. And now let's move on to my personal favorite name of the teams this year, Gabe Abadi's Sarah's Kibbez.
There we go. Gabe, welcome back. Fresh off a World Series appearance. Couldn't close the deal.
And the best part of this is when we asked him, hey, Gabe, do you want to be a captain again? He didn't even hesitate. He said, of course. Why would I not want to be a captain again?
Yeah, last year when he lost in the World Series, he actually told us, guys, I want to come back next year and I want to finish the deal.
Yeah, unfinished business. And obviously he took himself first overall pick on his team. Defensive whiz at short, obviously has the capability to be one of the better offensive shortstops. When he's going great.
Then his second round pick to everybody was extremely head scratching early.
I mean, it's funny because you're right. At this moment in the draft,
It was head scratching.
it was like, huh? You could have got him in 3 rounds from now. But then the way that he filled out the rest of his team, it kind of
all
made sense.
Yeah, he took Solomon Fallis, who became a premier hitter in this league, in every league. He's hitting great Sunday morning. He showed last year when he took over Ike Mavore's spot to be a big hitter. So, and he's got great hands up the middle.
And he's got great hair.
Yeah, he does have great hair. Good looking kid. He has a recent injury, but watching on highlights, he started looking like he was getting a little bit better. He has like a sports hernia, but he said he'll be fine.
I hope so.
And then Gabe went to his brother Carlos,
listen,
who's playing great. Sunday morning too.
Gabe will always take Carlos when he has an opportunity to. And as we know over the years, Carlos in the evening, I know you're saying it's catching up also in the morning, but Los in the evening is a whole grade or a whole echelon better as a hitter as he is in the morning. So
now that he's doing it in the morning too, it only
and he's a
bodes
do-it-all.
better.
He plays the outfield, plays the infield.
Yeah, when you take him, he could be a second baseman / center fielder. So speaking of key position wise,
and talk about welcoming somebody back.
yeah. So one of the legends in our community asking not to play shortstop. So what better team to be picked on than the team that has Gabe Abadi?
Perfect fit, perfect marriage.
Going to be playing third base, Morris Shama.
And we're talking about the Hall of Famer Morris SpongeBob Shama.
Yeah, now Morris also, similar to Carlos, by the way, if you look back at the numbers, I believe, I didn't look at this, but has great hitting numbers at night, more than he did Sunday morning. It's funny, last year Gabe's third baseman was Teddy Ishak, an older shortstop.
Yeah, he's going with the same recipe.
That same idea. So Morris Shama now, who's a short-handed third baseman, I would give him early votes.
Gold glove.
Gold glove, even though he's going against the likes of some really good third basemen.
Give it to him from now.
I won't go there. My son Jackie ain't no...
I love Jackie. Give it to Mo Shama from
here,
now.
let's see what it is. Maybe there's an adjustment period. for him.
Next
Let's
up
see.
on this squad, another young, rising outfielder, Soli Safdie.
Yeah, so he was in a World Series as a center fielder, and we know he could hit.
He can hit. He's a real hitter.
Defensively in center, is he the best? He's my nephew and I love him, but no, he's very good, but he ain't the best. Goes back well, doesn't come in as well as you'd like.
And his brother Yitz, who
He's the best.
Fugazi'd out this year.
Yeah, he couldn't do it this year. He had plans elsewhere. But Soley's going to be in center, and Soley's a real bat in the lineup.
For sure. And then this, to me, the biggest, I don't want to call it a question mark because he is he has a really good career in his own right, but something to prove is A.B. Saka.
Well, AB's fresh off surgery. But the good news is, and during this draft, it already was shown, before the draft in the Sunday morning YMSL League, nobody knew if he could do it. By the time we got to here, he was already in week 4, and AB's pitching like he pitches. He's a
And guess what?
bulldog.
AB loves
No,
nighttime pitching too. He loves
Loves
to
it.
work up a lather, and his
lather.
Listen, you see him on the mound. He's dripping like Patrick Ewing after the first free throw.
He goes at it. No matter what the game is, up 10-0, down 10-0, getting blown out, or it's a close game, he's giving it his all.
And the reason
on
why
every pitch.
I love Gabe, I believe they have chemistry together. Didn't
won.
they win together on the
way
Utes?
back when? Way back
Fountain
when?
of Youths or something?
No, they won with Grip It and Rip It way back when.
Are you sure it wasn't a different
Yeah,
team? I know they
Fountain
played
of
together. I know
Youths.
they won together.
Fountain of Youths was not on that team with him. That was Joey Eshko at short. They lost
Interesting.
in
I remember they have chemistry together. They have
then-
good vibes together. And then talking about
veteran
leadership, like we were just talking about AB, you're not going to get a bigger veteran leader than Ike Mavora, another Hall of Famer.
And Ike's still hitting, man. He similar to like a Michael Sabon Solomon. They don't stop. These
He
guys.
may be grabbing his
hitters are
groin,
hitters.
he may be grabbing a hamstring, but he's still batting a 520.
Still, yep,
so
he's still hitting. And then a player I like a lot, and he's only getting better and better, Leo Setton.
another
A very good outfielder.
last year, what team did he play on?
I was with Teddy Ishak.
With Gabe
Oh,
Abadi.
right, with Gabe. So
he
knew
knows him. He
Right,
saw
he was
him.
batting 10th last year, and he hit well towards the end of the year. I think he's only going to become more and more a key part of teams as the years go on.
Leo is also an elite corner outfielder. He really is. He makes diving plays on a weekly basis, and he's got a ridiculous arm. Ridiculous.
So, looking forward to seeing him this year. Aaron Enoch. So an aggressive, good hitter.
He stings the ball pretty much around all
well.
fields.
Defensively, okay, but he rounded up his lineup with him. Then a player you like. I don't know anything about.
You don't know anything about him. Neil Schwecke. First of all, he's one of the funniest kids in the league. That's
Okay,
number one.
looking
Great
forward to that.
personality, but he's got really good hands at second base, and he's one of those slap hitters that he's not going to be an auto out at the plate. He's a guy that you can't just think about the next batter or whatever. You have to pay attention.
If that's the case, they got 10 straight up hitters to start.
Yeah, they have a
and
good
then
team.
They're
And then-
11th and 12th. There's two guys that can both catch, and we know Shmuel Lewis wants the opportunity to possibly do other stuff.
I think
as
he
well.
wants to play short center field. Shmuel Lewis in the news is their second to last player on the team, and then finally the on base machine walks like an animal is Joey Rings Levy.
So their team, well, Shmuel, everybody gets their opportunity in this league. Someone goes out, someone can't.
Guys
get
are
one night.
missing, etc.
Yeah, it happens. So nice team. Like I said, started strange, but then when you look at the field,
Kind of made sense.
the field got rounded out pretty well. So, looking, Leo Setton's probably in left. Carlos is in center, maybe. Solomon Fowler's up the middle.
Leo Setton on
Oh,
the
and
squad.
Solly Safdie's in the outfield.
Solely Safi's going to be in center field. I see, in my opinion, Leo Setton's going to be either in left field or in right field.
So who's their left or other right fielder?
Their other
Have to be
outfielder is going
Carlos.
to be Los. Los will be in right field, I think.
Okay, so there you go.
And then you have Shmuel Lewis to play second base or short center field. Neil Schwecke, short center field, second base. You have guys, and Ike Mavora even can play short center if they want him to.
He wants to be at first. So
Of course
if
he
I was
does,
going to look at the team and ask for a hole over here, I'd say the right side is maybe questionable.
I think they'll be okay.
That's what I would say.
Next up, we're going to be talking about the championship captain, Stephen J. Gindey of the Resilience Organization.
Stephen Gindey. Okay, so he did something interesting. First pick, obviously, just like you said, Ali with Sabon, he went Joseph Arati. So you got Stephen and Joe. They're a
I
great
believe
connection.
they legally changed each other's last names. It's like something third party where they have the same last name now.
They're group. Okay, good for them. Partners. Stephen and Joe, center field and shortstop. They went with Yehuda Fallis, who didn't pitch full-time last year.
But people got a chance to see him pitch last
Yeah,
year.
And he's embracing the challenge and is excited to do it. He's in great shape. He's in the gym.
And you know that
He's been practicing.
Steven beat Yehuda Fallis in the World Series last year. He must have been impressed with him, taking him with his second overall pick, or really third overall pick if taking himself.
Yehuda could hit. So you're not just getting a pitcher, you're getting a top of the lineup hitter.
We saw a left fielder that was a good hitter. The question is, will the pitcher be the good hitter also?
We'll see.
Takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it could. Speaking of left fielder or right fielder, young player, but
even center fielder.
Yeah, everybody's high on him. Soli Esses. Soli Esses, everybody's high on him. Well, not going to get center here. Joseph Arati's in center.
Right.
But very good hitter. It's funny. Last time we were talking, I don't even know if we made a show about it or I said it privately to my brother. Every time I brought up a player that was on a 0-6 team in the YMSI, I went, wow, that guy's excited. Well, that 0-6 team now won 5 out of 6 games. Soli Esses, one of those players. And that only speaks volumes to these players that were doing bad.
Listen, Soli Esses...
They got together and they're playing well.
The reason why Soli Esses is the type of player that we love is because he is a diehard. He puts the work in. He's in every league possible. He's always in the cages. It's all he thinks about is ball. So ball is life to Soli Esses, which is what makes him a pretty good pick over here.
Now, talk about old captain who's on that team, who is a captain in the Sunday morning. Shimmy Cohen. So Shimmy's going to maybe get center field, right field.
I don't see how the Shimmy SJG combination
is going to mix.
It's very different. Very different.
But they're both very, easygoing, good guys.
For
so
sure. We love them both. I just don't see the style of play. No, Shimmy just will take a back seat and won't be a captain. That's what's going to happen. And
then
then
he might embrace.
Yeah, maybe. And then Barry Finkel, which is SJG had to take him because Barry Finkel was the walk-off winner of the World Series.
Barry last year started hot as a pistol. Then he looks like a streaky hitter, basically. Then he went cold, but he did get the big game when he hit. Talk about a diehard. He came with his own recording device, wants to watch over all the pitchers.
He came with his cronies.
Yeah.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. And then, speaking of, if you look at his team, actually, Steven's team, everyone here is a diehard. Next player, Jack Barnathan, young kid. He knows him well.
Similar to the Whamma pick of Saban.
Yeah, he's going to save him defensively in the infield.
Going with the defensive player, which is big. And talk about the opposite. He went with the Hebrew Hammer with the very next pick.
Yeah.
So maybe that was his idea. Maybe that's his DH or something. Elliot Mann deserves more playing time.
I mean, he was taken in the 9th round, so usually if you're taken in the top 10 rounds, you're going to get playing time.
Yeah, let's look at this. He has Joe S. in center. You got Soli S. Let's say in right or left.
Shimmy Cohen.
Shimmy, and then Elliot. Unless Shimmy plays infield, which we know Shimmy can.
I don't think so, because the next player we're going to talk about is SJG's nephew, Joe D. Gindy, and he's an infielder. So
young kid, okay. And then he has, Chunk Antar.
So this is the guy
to us to be a really good glove.
And in my opinion, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a big Chunk fan, but in my opinion, he fell more than anyone should have fell in this draft.
So according to you, he's a steal of the draft.
He is, in my opinion, based on, because if you look at the bottom 3 rounds of the draft, potentially even the bottom 4 rounds, he should have went in the 8th round, technically, and he ended up going in the 11th round.
So I think people did not value his bat, even though maybe he'd get better.
But he's a defensive whiz at second base.
His glove was great. He played really well.
Like, if he doesn't get his opportunities at second base, full playing time, there's something wrong. He is a defensive stud at second base.
Ray Estes rounded up their crew. I think Ray might be the catcher. And they have a nice young team. Question mark? I'm not going to say any major question marks here. The only one you'd say is Yehuda Fallis.
At pitcher.
At pitcher is the only pitcher on the team. So you're riding everything with Yehuda.
And there's no other backup option. Joseph Ferrari will claim he can pitch and put Soli Esses in center field.
And then Elliot Mann will get right.
There you go. There's your opportunity.
So Joe S. could throw strikes. Joe loves the idea, by the way. The guy is dying to pitch.
He texts me once a week, can I pitch? I'm like, what are you talking? What league are you talking about?
Right, it's in January.
Right, like what? Okay, Joe.
But,
and that's really the SJG team. I like it. Listen, SJG always wills gets the most out of his guys.
Yeah, even years where he didn't have a great team, he found his way in the 4-5 game.
Yeah, like Foam Roller Squad
and
what else? There was Night King or something. I don't know. All of his teams that he doesn't end up drafting well, they end up always in the end. They're always there.
Now the dog pound. A lot of people liking this team. Talking about the league, a lot of people just talking to me in general, they like this team.
They have a little bit of a change, a shake-up in this squad after the draft. First, Uri Adler, who took himself with his first pick, and after a few trades, I believe.
He made trades, so he ended up being the first pick in the 2nd round.
Right, but Uri Adler, as everyone's seeing, is only on the ascension, and he's a unbelievable hitter, and he's a filthy shortstop.
He's playing really well. He never came in as a shortstop. Never claimed to be a shortstop.
But he earned his way at short.
It's funny, earned, yeah, but he got thrown into it last year. Stephen Gindy got hurt in the other league, and Uri, they threw him there, and he did a good job.
Right.
And now it happened again this year. He didn't start as a shortstop. He's a shortstop of his team, and he's playing really well.
Listen,
So-
we're all Uri Adler friends. Crash Adler.
Yeah, I think he's like sorely, like you saying, getting to first round.
Yeah, he's
status.
there. The way he's hitting, I mean, you can't deny it.
That's for sure.
And then look at a guy like Jimmy Malak, who's not playing this year. He's always borderline first, second round, and he's taken for his bat only. If you add a glove to that,
That's a first round.
that's a first rounder. So
There's
I don't
Uri.
see
That's
why
right.
not. I mean, he doesn't have the physique of what you would think of a first rounder prototypically, but production wise,
Strong
he
guy,
does what he
big
got
guy.
to do.
It's all right. Then he took Nadav Nutty, who we're going to miss, broke his wrist in 2 spots. Refuah Shlema.
He replaced Nutty with Saul Cohen.
Yeah, so Saul Cohen usually goes in this area. Maybe he'll drop later, but right around here, Saul's bat is up there with the best of
And
us.
the reason why this worked for them, they had some roster flexibility. We had Aaron Nuni Cohen,
Yes.
who went into the draft saying he only wants to play the infield, but for the betterment of his team, now that they lost their center fielder, he's going to end up going to center
Right,
field.
there was some talk about this. Oh, should we allow it? Should we not?
Yeah, we allowed
it was
it.
fine.
We allowed it.
That's it. Simple as that.
I just don't want to. I just want to make sure we don't gloss over the fact that with his 3rd overall pick, he took Aharon Hank DeWeck,
Right.
and Hank is
An animal.
the one of the guys. And I will tell you, we've been doing this league for 17 years, our 17th season.
Wow.
It took
Tall.
about 10
17.
years for someone to hit the ball over the fence in JoJo Saruya, and then like we saw, maybe 1, maybe 2. This guy's doing it on a
Weekly
it's
basis.
on an at-bat basis. You have to keep your eyes open because
I'll tell you this.
everything has an opportunity to go over.
He's a teammate of mine now in the league, and there's a lot of balls that when he hits and strikes, some of that may even be caught because we don't play with fences in all the leagues, that I look and I go, wow, at night that might be gone.
I'll tell you what it is. The ball does carry a bit more at night than it does in the morning. That's just scientifically proven. The humidity, the just whatever it may be.
I mean, nobody else hits it over, but
No, I mean we had Alaham do it. We had some guys
Few
do it.
do it. Yaakov
but
did it too.
Yaakov did it, but didn't touch first base. But Hank, for whatever reason, he towers the ball and he puts the work in. He's a gym rat. He is in ridiculous shape, so that definitely helps. But
Yeah.
he's an animal. Anyway,
He's a
back
big-
to their team.
He's only even though he's only a first baseman, he's a top round pick. He's an animal.
We would love to see him do it in the World Series, though.
That's it. Now,
Yeah.
Aaron Cohen, like we said, is going to be the center fielder now. Morris Levy.
This is the name that you're going to talk more
Yeah,
about.
I'm a big fan of. I coached this kid for many years. Tall, skinny. He got only taller now and stronger.
They call him
6'2".
Momo, right?
Yeah, Momo Levy. He's been practicing too. When I'm at the field Sunday afternoon, coaching the kids, doing my leagues, he's in the other field, hitting around with Sammy Saruya and practicing.
He's one of the Ois base.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. He's a very good outfielder, a very capable center fielder, and I stand by that.
Will there be rookie transition
I
periods
don't think
here?
so. I think he's an on-base type guy, good hitter, and I think he's going to be very, very good in the outfield.
Is he a leadoff type or more of a power
He
type?
could be leadoff type, or about 6th, 7th in the lineup. But I'm a big fan.
And now next pick on their team is, I think their team rides on the arm of this man, is Ralph Hannon.
So I just faced Ralph, and he hasn't pitched all season till this week. And
Which
he
might
looked
help
great.
him for the summer.
Yeah, maybe
Fresher.
a little bit more fresh, but he looked great. He's in good shape.
And he's still country strong.
He'll always be country strong. He might be missing 1 week this season, as opposed to missing 4. And Simi Adler is already approved and probably going to be there that week. That's a great. One of the things I like about that is they're not like, oh no, he's missing. Who's coming? They already know who the sub is that week.
And obviously, Simi Adler is Uri's brother, and
Uri's
if it
brother.
wasn't, that would be weird. And then next on their team is...
Welcome back.
Welcome back is Nussi Jakubowicz.
That's right. Nussi is back. Could play outfield or infield. I think he was drafted for the infield. Power hitter, streaky. At
And
one
we saw him
point-
bat at 680 through
Yeah.
5 weeks.
And then he had a following year where he didn't hit. So let's see what Nussi's going to bring to the table.
And now the next player on their team, I am very excited about having him back in the league, coming off ACL surgery. Initially wasn't planning on playing the outfield, but thank God his rehab assignment went swimmingly, and that's Lawrence.
Yeah.
The law firm Kurtz, who by the way is a lawyer.
Which I didn't know.
Yes.
He's a huge topic of conversation here because I think you were talking about Chunk Antar. If he's as healthy as he says he
Then
is,
he should be a top 4 rounder.
right, so he's a steal of the draft. One of the reasons he said he couldn't play the outfield was not because of his ACL. It was because of his throwing shoulder. And he said he was not feeling comfortable throwing. And he whatchamacallit. Now he says maybe he's able to do it. Let's see. People complained. I don't think he dogged it to get to Uri Adler.
No, he
I don't even know if he knows who Uri Adler is.
I don't think even now you can pick him out of a lineup. So
Right.
I don't think there's
But
any.
he's a potential steal of the draft.
And then next up, another one of our South Atlantic League recruits is David Minzer.
Good hitter, okay fielder, plays third, plays the outfield. I think the lights of the night league could maybe get to him a little bit. Let's see.
I mean, I have no opinion because I never saw the guy before in my life. And then we have Icy Hot Isaac Cohen, been proven to be a real hitter. What?
Love Isaac.
Icy Hot's the man. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of an old voice note. That's all. Okay,
Oh,
then
the chamois voice.
that's
though.
right.
Yeah.
Now, the next player I might call the steal of the draft as a rookie, and Ricky
The Railroad.
Rothstein.
Ricky Rothstein.
Ricky could hit, man. Ricky could flat out stroke. He may not catch in this league this year because their last pick is David Coney Cohen, who is a really, really good catcher. But Ricky could flat out hit the ball. And he's looking forward, and he can't wait to shut the mouths of the critics. In fact, I'm going to say it here.
What critics?
Ricky Rothstein heard somebody say that I picked Danny Shabbat over him, which I still do. And Ricky looked at me and said, I'm going to prove you wrong, Max.
Okay.
So there's going to be a Ricky against Danny Shabbat
We're going to have
watch.
a Railroad watch.
Yeah.
And anyway, next, that is their squad. That's the Dog Pound. I mean, up and down, I think I like their team. I'm not 100% sold yet, but I'm like trying to understand the dynamics. And really, I think it rides on the arm of Ralph Hannon. And Ralph is looking to be the first 3-time champion pitcher.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we already know he knows how to do it.
Talk about champion at pitcher. Edmund Beda's been there.
The Phenom.
Yeah, he's a captain now. He went skinny and fast.
Yeah, listen, he
After-
took youth and athleticism.
Yeah, he went with his own body build with everybody. David Buka Cohen could be the best in the league, and at some points people look at him and say he's overrated because he's not hitting. And then the next week they go, wow, he's a first round.
I think that overrated tag is over by now, but I think it's back now because he went 6th overall.
All right, so let's see. He's a mixed bag
And
week to week.
then next up, he took another slender build infielder, Joey Cohen.
Yes, I'm playing with Joey. Joey is an elite defensive shortstop, so that alone makes your draft spot worth it.
But he's not fast.
He's pretty fast.
Is he?
He's
Okay,
not
good.
slow. I think he went the same exact pick in both leagues.
Number 20.
Number 20. Now that I'm looking at it, I didn't look it up, but I think so. He's a player. Joey's a real player. Can bat leadoff. Can bat fifth in a lineup. He's real.
And then after a few trades, it looked like, because he had 20 and then number 23, he drafted Isaac Sasson, who
Great
I
outfielder.
think officially over the course of the whole body of the league, they look at it, they all respect the game of Isaac Sasson at this point.
People like him. People like Isaac. He's a great player, great kid.
Good teammate.
Great teammate. I'd like to see his bat get a little bit more alive.
And you look at his
From where
batting
they
stance,
picked
that
him.
weird kick, and you
Yeah.
think, but he
So-
produces.
I'd like to see him get even more taken where he got taken. Eric Citron, they're hoping his bat even takes another elevated.
He was awesome last year.
Defensively. It was fantastic. In the playoffs, he hit. So hopefully that carries over at night. Bernie Pindeck,
So-
talk about a bat.
So, okay, this is something that you may not know.
He's the bat.
I know the Brooklyn League is not what it was in the past, but
Right.
right now Bernie Pindeck leads every offensive category and is going to win the MVP in that league. I mean,
That's
for what it's
great.
worth. But RBIs, home runs, on base, slugging, you name it, every stat. BP will always be a hitter.
Bernie's a hitter, and this team needs him. He's lined up, if 3 guys in front of him have decent years, to get a lot of RBIs. Because he's going to have a lot of speed on the bases, and he's got to jack that ball.
Listen,
and use
if
the
he
field.
takes advantage of the lineup that's around him, he could have his best offensive year of
They
his
got to
career.
get on, but yeah, if they get on, he's going to have a lot of speed on the bases.
Speaking of a postseason former hero, we have Yossi Abramson.
Yeah, another mixed bag. A guy who goes later every year. He's actually in this area every year.
I think he settled into this type
Yeah.
of spot.
He's a solid outfielder. Surprisingly, not with Michael Solomon. Michael didn't pick him this year. But a solid player who's also always in the dance.
And now I'm
He's always
really
there.
happy to welcome back Morty Shrem. Morty Shrem, his first year in the league, didn't get a good shake at it. I think he was thrown in. I think the Yankees was the name of the team that JT got hurt or something, whatever it may be.
On the phone rollers also, I think. I mentioned that team.
And then he wasn't what he was now. And what I mean by that was he already now is that young veteran type. He's been a captain multiple years in multiple leagues.
He's got a lot of swag. I know in the Tahina League in Brooklyn, he brings a team that's like,
Yeah, they win almost all the time.
Yeah, they're always in it. They play against these monster teams, and
Yeah,
they always
the
win.
name of that squad is the Melonheads, by the
Yeah,
way.
so he's a big part of that. So it's nice. He's got swag.
He's the leader of that. And guess what? His teammate's always Isaac Sasson, so he's playing together with him.
Also, he's on a young team here, and Edmund Beta, it's his first time being captain. Maybe Morty Shrem, in a way, takes the helm.
That leadership
as
type
a,
role.
Yeah, as a leader, as a co-captain type guy. I can see that.
I mean, and then you have Jack Ruben Beebe, who already won the sportsmanship, so close the polls on that.
Over it.
And now guess what? He plays multiple positions, can catch, can play second, can play right. He's got
also.
power, he's got speed. No, underrated player, Jack Beebe, and we love you for everything that you do for the league.
Then I didn't even see this as another type captain player.
Yeah, so he's going to be the captain on the field.
Maurice Haber.
And I think that's why Edmund took him over here.
Maybe. Maurice is still a hitter at 56 years old, God bless him.
I think if you
Still
take
to get on base.
the combined age of everyone on the team doesn't equal up to Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice is officially the grandpa. And he could be the grandpa of every single one of them.
And then the final two picks of this draft is, I don't know what they're going to do about this logjam.
Well, I think it's easy. I think they're going to either give Albert Massery the catching job and slot Alphonse, and Alphonse Missery may get an opportunity. This is just me guessing. A lot more hitting opportunity than he ever has.
Good. I know. I hope he does,
Cool.
because Fonz actually could put the bat in the ball. And listen, Albert Massery is also a Gold Glove candidate catcher. He really
Now,
is.
Or do they split games? Maybe Alphonse will get a
I think
game.
they'll start off like that and they'll ride the hot hand.
Let's
And anyway,
see.
that's the IDF. Good, young, fast squad, like you said,
Yeah,
minus a few non-fast guys at the end.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Alphonse and Albert is the captain is Edmund Beta as pitcher. So who he feels more comfortable pitching to, he might just make that the nod.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's see. Like you said, let's see. And then finally, the final team is captained by Sammy Esses, and the name of the team is the Bleacher Creatures. I love this uniform, by the way. It looks gorgeous.
Cool.
And his team is
So
pretty interesting.
I love the start of this draft, and as the draft went on, he might have maybe missed one pick here or there, but let's run through it.
I mean, Sammy Saruya, you can't go wrong with him as
Sammy's
first
great.
overall. I
Alco.
think Albert Cohen, former MVP in this league. I mean, mixed bag in other leagues, but
No, so it's interesting because Albert 2 years ago in our league was the best. Last year in our league had a rough year, and now this year playing spring, he's off the charts. He's
okay, so good. He's back. So maybe that's what he is.
back.
He had a dip. But you know
Yeah.
what? We're
So,
big fans of Alco. So Sammy
big
Saruya,
fan.
speed defense. Albert Cohen, speed defense.
Jojo Mamie.
Jojo Mamie, speed defense.
Jojo Mamie, by the way, I think is a top echelon player, and he got third pick taken.
He gets a bad rep because when it comes to the biggest moments, he kind of cowers.
Yeah,
So
we know that. Now, then they went taking him early. I love him. He's one of our best of friends, Michael Miller Solomon. But you're taking him in the 4th round.
Listen.
His bat better be big.
yeah, I believe he's relying on his bat because if you look at this last 5 picks of his team, you really don't have that much thump.
Yeah. Now I did have an umpire call us. I'm not going to say the name of the umpire, and he loved this pick. He said, "You're going to get a catcher who helps control the game. That's what you want. Why not take him even earlier?" So this one of these umpires loved Michael behind the dish. And their
Listen,
pitcher-
I get it, and we know what he brings, but with Melech, and it's a very important aspect here, and people that played on Melech's teams understand that. If Melech buys into the team, and you get the most out of Melech, your team will probably go very far. If Melech is just the least bit disinterested and he's upset with Sammy Esses or whatever, then you suddenly lose his ear a little bit, and you lose his interest, wanes a little bit.
Hopefully he's all in. Well, David Arari, great teammate guy.
I mean, we know David Arari had success with Sammy Esses. They won the World Series together.
He's a great hitter. Edini Seam was the pitcher of Michael Saban.
No,
Michael.
he was on Sammy Esses' team last
Right,
year.
with Michael
Yes.
Solomon,
Was-
sorry, Melech. So they have a little bit of the same formula from last year. Then they went with Avi Dweck. I
Well,
love
go,
Avi.
Go back for a second on Eddie Niesim. Eddie Niesim, one of those guys that, he texts me and calls me off the hook how excited he is. He had to rehab from a small knee injury, but he's 100% healthy, and he is hungry, and he still feels like he gets disrespected in this league as why am I not considered a top 3 pitcher in the league? I said, well, you got to play for more than a few years. You got to do it for more than
Now
a few
he's
years.
got that chance.
So now he's looking to be that guy.
Right here. So now Avi Dweck got taken at 49. I'm looking at the draft now. Avi might get an outfield spot here and there. Maybe not.
So that's the whole of this team.
Right.
Is what's their outfield going to look like?
So the next pick, Eli Harari, who's a great infielder.
He's going to have to play the
He'll
outfield.
play the outfield. He might have to.
No, I think because after Albert Cohen, where is your next best
Maybe
outfielder?
Eli Harari is in right, and then the next pick, Victor Abadi, is in left.
Well, Victor Abadi did win a Gold Glove in right field, I
Way
believe.
back when, yeah.
So maybe you put Ellie in left, Victor Abadi in right, and
Maybe.
Alco in center. It's
They
still,
got
still not strong.
Yeah, Isaac Cabazzo's up the middle. Good. Sammy Esses probably going to be at third.
And Cheetah Moshe Azachi, to round it out, is probably going to be their short center fielder. So who's their catcher?
no, Michael Miller.
Oh, Melech there. I'm sorry. So there you go.
Yes,
That's the
Avi
team.
Dweck might be up the middle or at second. So let's just zoom through it. If you're going to pick one hole, the final battle, Ashkenaz question.
Yeah, we don't know. They could be great, by the way, but
Yeah,
we don't know.
Saban's team, I could say maybe lacks a little firepower because they took Yitzhak Sutton so early in his
Yeah, but
Yitzhak in
Yitz
the
is a
hit.
bat, and
Let's see.
Allie's a bat. I don't agree with that, but okay.
Gabe Abadi, I'm looking at his team. Defensively in the outfield, Soli Safety, Leo Seton, Carlos.
Yeah, Enoch, Schwecke, you have guys here that you're not sure what they're going to do.
Okay, so we'll see. Stephen Gindi, Yehuda Fallis, we mentioned. The Dog Pound, Uri Adler. Not questioning Ralph Haddon this year, so sort of like this team.
Yeah, pretty good squad. Pretty good squad.
IDF, very young, maybe lacking.
Inexperienced, but
Yeah.
you have Maurice there. Who knows?
Yeah,
and then
maybe lacking
finally,
a little power.
Sammy Esses is their outfield question mark.
So if you had to take two teams not to make the playoffs, because that's what we always do.
If okay, prediction should have go wrong. They didn't play a game yet. We have no idea what
Right.
we're talking about, so I don't know. But if I had to choose two teams right now, as currently constituted, which two teams will not make the playoffs? Team number one would be Sammy Esses' Bleacher Creatures.
I think I have to agree there
based
because
on
of the
their
questions.
lack of outfield, not based on their players, because I like a lot of the players in their team.
The top of their draft, I think, was the best. But then as the draft went, they might have some holes.
Right, and he may have to make a trade or two to shore up that outfield. Who
That's
knows? And then my second team not to make the playoffs. You're not going to agree with me. You're not going to love it. You're going to actually think I'm nuts. But Gabe Abadi, Sarah's Kibes.
Interesting. Sarah's Kibbers. No, I'm going to take IDF as a question
And
mark
wait,
there 'cause of all the
ask me why I'm making that pick, because
Tell me.
I'm looking at the squad. I mean, at the end of the day, we love Saul Fallis' bat. Doesn't play a premier position, and he's taken high. Los is going to be relied upon more than ever. Mo Shama coming back after a 5-year hiatus.
Right,
maybe
hope he's
more.
into it.
Right. Is he going to be 100%? Is Soli Safety going to take a step up in the outfield at the plate? A.B. Saka coming off of a hip surgery.
I hear.
A lot of question marks. Ike Mavora is going to bring it. We know that. Leo Seton, I think, is going to bring it. But then after that, Enoch, what is he going to bring to the table? Neil Schwecke is a rookie.
If you had
Shmuel
to-
Lewis
So if we had to take two teams in the finals,
in the ship. If I had to pick two teams, I think first team, and you're going to think I'm crazy because there's so much inexperience on the squad, but it's Edmund Beta's IDF
see
squad.
the team I didn't take to make it.
Yeah.
I say the Dog Pound against, I have to pick the final battle of Predators.
Yeah, I got final battle versus I have TI versus Edmund Beta in the World Series
I'm going to
again.
go Predators.
What do we know? We know
I
nothing.
know nothing, but remember it so you can make fun of us later.
Oh, we will. And when we're right, by the way, we don't even see one clip, but it's okay.
Good luck. Award show coming soon. The league is starting in less than 2 weeks. Wow,
Can't wait.
we'll see you soon.